This is the documentary about the smart meter. The breaker box here is in full tact. On last week there was a failure to my electricity, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And so we're going to go outside here. But every time you turned on the breaker to the hot water heater, it was controlling half of the house, and it messed up all the breakers in the house. And we had to call an electrician in. Come to find out, we got a smart meter right here, as you can see it, and we're figuring this is what caused the problem, because there was no other problems with in the house at this time. And so no other breakers blew, but this one did. This is the main box where it broke. It'll sit on here in a minute here. Inside box here, as you see, the breakers, this top breaker here, not this one here, but the other one they took out, I took out this morning, it was fused to the inside of the panel box behind this panel. So they had to remove these two breakers here, the electricians did, and put this one in, but they couldn't put it in up here. They had to put it down here. And so this morning I had to bring it back up here after they pulled the meter, and then put these two back in. I was going to close the box up here. The meter itself actually was fused to the box, and then I just got a call from the electric company. His name was Matt. I didn't get a last name, but he just said that the electric company is not going to take any responsibility because fuses blow all the time, or breakers blow all the time. And so this is the breaker that actually came out of, this is the breaker that actually came out of it. As you can see here, this breaker here, as you see, the electricians came and they said that this breaker, half of it blew and only half was working. So the plug that's over here by the wash machine, that's the one that failed first, where the night light is here. Right here. This failed first, and it's on a separate breaker. The dryer, it's also on a separate breaker. And the hot water heater, it's also on a separate breaker. We checked the top and the bottom, and when you disconnected the hot water heater, then the power went off in half of the house. So after the electricians came in, they checked it and found out that it was not in the house, that it was on the pole and the main breaker box. As you see, we're coming back to the breaker here. You see here that it's how it's pulled out here. It's because from what the electrician said, that they couldn't get it out. They weren't able to get it out. Plus we were working in the rain and the meter wasn't pulled, so we weren't able to get this out. Then today I was able to get it out of there and be able to look at it. You see here how it was blowing. It was actually fused to the box. There's a part of it here. We found soot, like ashes soot, inside of, here it is, inside of the box, which was caused from the breaker burning. As you see, the breaker here it locked within the box. We couldn't get it out. And like I said this morning, I finally got it out. And I just got off the phone talking to someone from Mountain Power. His name was Matt. I didn't get his last name, like I said. But at the same time, it is. They're not. They said he told me that breakers blow all the time, and so. But afterwards, I went on YouTube and decided to go ahead and look up how to install a meter box to find if I need to, how to open it to get the meter out to replace with the breaker. Back to the fuse box itself, none of these breakers were affected or as far as burning, but this top one here is your hot water heater. If I turn that switch off, it also turned off several of these other breakers without even turning the switch. The switch didn't go off. Just they were almost like they were fused together. You know, because they were all working or not working right. Down here at the dryer, it's on a separate breaker. Whenever I turn that on, it's only when I get ready to use the dryer. When I went to use the dryer, I was not able to get it to work at all because it pulled too much power. And then that light on the wall there, whenever I would go to plug the wash machine back in, when I go to turn it on, the light went so dim you couldn't do anything with it. So I had to finish my washing by plugging it into another plug. But it turned out the bathroom lights, the workshop wall outlets, the kitchen, part of the kitchen outlets didn't work. Like for instance the outlet over here on the side here, that didn't work. This outlet here didn't work. And thank God the refrigerators and freezers still worked. But the power on the bottom of down here, it didn't work either. I had to use an extension cord. The microwave didn't work. It didn't have enough power to run it. So I took and come upstairs, and the funny part about all of this is everything in this room worked. And it's on and this breaker here is on the same breaker as this room in here. But in this room here, half of the things in this room didn't work. As far as the outlets, anything had to do with the computers, none of that worked. And as you see, this box right here, this is also a oh heck, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's to stop electric shocks from ruining your computers and stuff. Surge protector is what it is. But regardless of it is, the electric company said that they're not going to take responsibility for this. The smart meter itself, I went online to YouTube, and it's certain documentations of all of the problems they've had with the smart meters. And we've been having lights flickering off and on quite often, sometimes 5 to 6 times a month, and sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. So I'm doing a report here on a smart meter. As you see, this is a smart meter. Now I'm going to end this documentation. So if you have a smart meter, you see I put mine on my pole outside my house. There's my house, here's the pole. This way, if it's on the outside of your house here, and if there's a fire or something, it doesn't catch your house on fire. This is William Tyler signing off from Blaine, West Virginia. The area of the smart meter and the houses, they've installed one almost in every house here, they've taken out the older meters and installed new meters. On as you see, there's a pole. Everything that I got as far as cable, telephone, electrical power, everything's on this pole. Electric company said the only thing they own on here is the meter. I own everything else, which is true. I installed all of it myself, except the electrical part. I let someone else do that. So if something happened, I wouldn't be blamed for it. It's William Tyler. There's my documentary on the super meter.